Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This week's Parshat Shoftim talks about judges, talks about setting up courts of law. The Rebbe of Slonim asks a beautiful question. It says, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tirdof, you should pursue justice. He says, why does it say Tzedek twice? It could have just said it once, and we know that the Torah never wastes words. And the Rebbe of Slonim, in his Sefer Netivat Shalom, gives a very profound answer, which is in a way simple but yet deep. He says, what does tzedek mean? Tzedek could mean justice, it could mean truth. It's righteousness in a way, it's finding the right way to behave. But he says, how can we know what's right? How do we create the right decisions for ourselves as individuals and as society? And he says, first of all, you have to use your mind, because that's really important. We use our minds and our brain power and our intellect to figure out, what does an ideal society look like? What does systems of justice look like? How can we create true, meaningful societies? And we have to work from our minds. But he says, it can't stop there. The second time it mentions tzedek is telling you that it has to come from our hearts. There's a certain feeling that we know when something is right, when there's a right behavior, when something just instinctively feels, this is right. It's in a way, it's a combination of our mind knowing that that's true, but then our hearts and our bodies feeling it's true. There's an integrity. So he said, tzedek, tzedek, it repeats it twice to tell us that not only should we just think it's right, what we're doing, but in a way we know that it's right. And that's a journey. That's why it's something we pursue, because it's not something straightforward, it's not something static, it's something dynamic, it's something that we're constantly chasing in a way. What is right behavior? What does a right society look like? Malcolm Gladwell's written a book on leadership called Blink, where he says that often we get so lost in our minds and in our intellect, and we're thinking so much, we can often lose the way. He says sometimes we just need to close our eyes, just think about the situation, then open them, and in a blink of an eyelid, just in a blink, kind of look inside. What is instinctively? What do we know? What feels right? And it's so important to drop into our hearts and to actually follow. Often our bodies are a great compass and to know what is the right thing. And therefore, tzedek, tzedek, tirdof is a journey. It's a journey of combining both the heart and the mind when we actually pursue right action. And that is our bracha for all of us as we go into this beautiful month of Elul. Rosh Chodesh Elul is today. Some of us start blowing the shofar. And Elul is about Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. I'm to my beloved is to me. It's opening our hearts now. It's opening into the relationship. It is doing the right thing, but coming from a place where it feels right as well. And the pasuk says, if you do that, tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, lema'an tichyeh, in order that you shall live. And please God, we should all merit a good life, a full life, a life of bracha, of purpose, of meaning, where what we do feels right both in our minds, but also in our hearts. Shabbat Shalom.